Okay, so you finally decided to start training Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Maybe it's the Joe Rogan experience.
What's the practical use of jiu-jitsu?
Well, if you and I were in a fight, I would kill you.
Maybe Jocko, maybe your coworker decided that he loves it and it changed his life and he wants you to come to class with him.
Jiu-jitsu is 100% a superpower. There's no doubt about it. My son, he asked me when he was a little kid, the movie The Incredibles came out, and he said, "Hey, Dad, is there really such a thing as superpower?" And I said, yes, there is. It's a little thing that you do every day. It's called jiu-jitsu.
Either way, you want to start training, I'm going to tell you the things they don't want you to know. These are the 5 brutal truths about Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu. Number 5. It's gonna suck in the beginning, okay? I was gonna say you're gonna feel useless, but that seems too nice, okay? It's just for the first few weeks, I would say even few months, okay? 3 to 6 months, depending on your athleticism and, you know, your build and your body type level. But regardless, it doesn't really matter how strong and athletic you are, or if you've done sports in the past, unless it's like grappling related, like you did wrestling, then that'll help you for sure. But it doesn't really matter. For that first, 6 months or so, you're gonna get just ragdolled. You're gonna be human furniture for the first like 3 to 6 months. It's very annoying. It's a guy half your size. You think, oh, I could beat this guy.
What the fuck was that?
That's what I asked for.
What the fuck was that? Fucking magic. It's voodoo shit.
It's very annoying. It's a guy half your size. You think, oh, I could beat this guy easily. And then he's tapping you out left and right. It's just kind of a big ego check in the beginning, which is part of the cleansing process. It's part of the thing. But if you don't know that going into it, or you're not really, prepared for it mentally, it can be jarring. And it feels like, man, am I even getting better? Is this supposed to happen? Am I just the worst person who's ever tried Brazilian Jiu-Jitsu in the world? No, you're not alone. This is normal. So don't worry about it. Just keep going to class and it'll get better. I promise. Number 4, not all gyms are created equal, okay? And I wish someone told me this in the beginning. You should try out a bunch of different gyms when you first decide to train. I know it's new, so you're kind of like, I'll just pick one and just go for it. But I'd say try 2, 3, 4 gyms. There's usually a lot if you live in a big metropolitan area. Because you're gonna wanna know that you're with the right place if you are there for the long haul. I mean, it takes 2 years just to get your blue belt, which is the first belt in Jiu-Jitsu. And if you go all the way to black belt, it's gonna take you like 10 years. So you're gonna wanna know that you pick the right group of people, the right culture, the right environment. And sometimes you won't know this until you've already bought the rash guard. And you're 2 months in and you're like, oh, these guys are just... So don't worry about it. If that happens, it's worth going somewhere else and, kind of starting over again, being the new guy. It's okay. You'll be happy you did it in the long run. Number 3, hygiene is a real problem in jiu-jitsu. It's gross, okay? We make it normalized because it's just like it's our hobby. And we're like, no, it's totally fine. Guys sweat into my mouth. It's totally disgusting. But it's a part of jiu-jitsu. You just kind of have to accept it. If you're a germaphobe, it's gonna be tough because there's a lot of human to human contact, and it gets sweaty and just kind of gross. But that being said, there's some gyms that that take a great care of their mats, and they have great hygiene, and there's not a bunch of skin infections or ringworm or staph or athlete's foot that goes around. In fact, the school I'm training at now, I've been training there for a little over 3 years, and I've never had any skin issues, never had any problems, and they're constantly keeping their mats clean. The place smells great all the time, despite how much people are in there sweating and training. So Just make sure your school is doing a good job of that. Make sure you're doing a good job of that. It's easy to kind of fall into the trap of like, well, I think this gi smells okay. I mean, I only wore it once, so it's fine. I could probably go without washing it again. Don't be that guy, okay? No one likes that guy. Number 2, injuries are inevitable. It's just a part of any combat sport, but maybe you're thinking, I've heard jiu-jitsu's like the gentle art. There's no punching, there's no strikes, you know? I'll probably be fine, right? It's gentle in the way that like a glacier carves a path and destroys a mountain is gentle.
And look at Randy Orton slithering.
Oh, watch out, watch out, watch out, watch out!
If you know what I mean. Like, it's just constant pressure, weird movements. There's guys tweaking your shoulders, tweaking your knees, tweaking your elbow. It can be a lot, and especially if you're not like, you know, a young 17-year-old who recovers super easily. If you're mid-30s, mid-40s, and you're just doing this once or twice a week as a hobby, it can be a lot. So you just know that going into it. Injuries are a part of it. It's not really a if, it's a when. And if you keep that in mind, then it's not going to be as big of a deal when you do have an injury. Although I do have a hot take when it comes to injuries, and that's you don't necessarily have to compete if you don't want to. A lot of injuries that I've seen throughout my training with guys, you know, who are brand new, they end up doing a tournament pretty early on, usually at white belt level, and that's where they get injured because their adrenaline's high. They're trying to win more than they've ever tried to win, and it's a stressful environment, and they move the wrong way, or they step the wrong way, and they tweak something, they pop their knee, they blow an ACL, or they blow a shoulder, and then they stop training after that. So just know that you don't have to compete. It's not a requirement in jiu-jitsu, even though some gyms, it kind of feels like it is because they have a huge culture of competing at that gym. So just know that you don't have to do that, and that'll probably reduce your injury risk. Just saying. Number 1, this is the reason most people quit jiu-jitsu. Sparring. Especially when you first start. This is the guys who I see come in, they try like 1 or 2 classes, and then they never come back. And I really think it comes down to their expectations. They have no idea that they're gonna be sparring another grown man in their first class. They're like, oh, it's my first class. I'll just take it easy. How hard can it be?
Can I laugh in your face?
Really?
Yes.
And then by the end of class, they're like, all right, everybody partner up. Let's go 5-minute rounds. Let's roll. And they're like, wait, what's happening? And then all of a sudden they're getting like choked out left and right. They feel like they're getting run over by a bus. It's a whole issue. And it can be a bit traumatic, to be honest with you. It happened to me. It happened to many others before. You know, I was dumb enough to keep coming and be okay with that, I guess. But there's a lot of people who are like, yeah, I don't need this. Like, I work, you know, 9 to 5, and I have a family to feed. Like, I can't be doing this, which is totally understandable, but there's some ways to navigate it that will help this experience go much smoother than just, okay, I'm just gonna team up with this other white belt. He'll probably be nice to me. No, he won't. He's gonna try to kill you, okay? Just know that there's a few things that you can do to make this go better. Number 1, tell the person you're rolling with, that you're partnered up with, that it's your first day. Be like, hey, I'm new. This is my first day. I don't know anything. Do you mind showing me something? That will make the roll go 10 times better. They'll probably just be like, yeah, here, let's work on this, you know, guard pass, or I'm gonna show you this mount escape, or whatever. Or the other thing that you can do is ask an upper belt. I know it seems like the obvious thing to ask another white belt to roll, because you're like, hey, I'm brand new. Why not ask one of these other guys who's also brand new? But the problem is white belts are trying to get that first win. They're in the same category as you. You know, they've been getting smashed for the last however many months. You finally get to roll with someone who doesn't know as much as you. It's amazing.
I'm gonna kill Carl now.
okay? And they're like, I'm trying to get my first submission, I'm trying to get my first armbar or whatever, and they're going hard, and it can be, you know, a very unpleasant experience for the uninitiated.
He's very wary.
Hey, you know, this was something I wanted to do for a long time. Glad you stayed this long if you did. Please, if you can, drop a like and subscribe. I'm gonna be making more videos like this and doing some reaction videos in the future about martial arts content. So anyway, thank you guys for watching and happy training. Peace.